Is misogyny worse than misandry?
Yeah, I would say so. And the reason why is because misogyny is built into laws and policies as well, versus misandry is just like a lot of the time is rooted in genuine fear. It doesn't make it, okay. But I think like it's better to, see people as they are. But I think misogyny is, again, more of like a deeply systemic issue, and a lot of violence, gender-based violence, is rooted in misogyny, which cannot necessarily be said for the other way around. Obviously, there's always exceptions to everything.
The only reason that she says that is because she believes in a bunch of stats which are completely false. They're totally false. We've been over them multiple times. Women do just as much damage with their misandry as whatever she considers misogyny to be.
I'll just read out the statistics that I have here about violence against women, and that's basically what my belief that misogyny is worse. Misogyny kills and misandry annoys is sort of a phrase that people say. I think both definitely aren't healthy, but 1 in 3 women experience violence in the home or just generally in their lifetime. World Health Organization, 50% of women are murdered in 2017 were killed by an intimate partner, United Nations. A lot of child brides, with victims being women married to older men, as well as 71% of human trafficking victims being women, often used for sexual exploitation purposes. And that a lot of that is rooted in the belief that women are property and objects that men can do what they want with. So that is why I believe that misogyny is worse. I think, again, though, I will concede, I think both can be harmful.
And can I just point out real quick that sexual liberation is a key cornerstone of feminism, including OnlyFans, things like this, and that's been linked heavily to sexual trafficking. And still, the left does everything they can to promote that women should be able to engage in prostitution, even though it leads to those very same outcomes, which is insane. Also, when we're talking about misogyny versus misandry, what's really interesting about this is they'll often only point to the stat of death as though that is the only stat which is worth looking at. You look at what's going on in society, we also have to look at children, the effects and outcomes of children. The demonization of men through misandry often will lead to men or boys, young girls, things like that, losing respect for men. It also leads to men losing custody of their children, which leads to bad outcomes for children. Even if it were the case that I accepted all of her stats. By the way, that also proves that feminism is not doing a good job protecting women. It literally failed its promise of protecting women. But on top of that, can we just point out that she doesn't bring up the outcomes for children ever? They never bring up the outcomes for children, which are completely and totally awful.